Welcome to Actors Theatre of Louisville and the Bingham Theatre, home of Dracula. I'm Anna Lentz, a member of the Professional Training Company.
And I'm Elijah Jones, also a member of the Professional Training Company. In this video study guide, we'll introduce to you the history of Dracula, the specifics of Actors Theatre production, and give you a backstage look at some of the technical elements of the show.
Dracula has a storied history here at Actors Theatre, where it has been produced for over 20 years. Our production is based off of Bram Stoker's horror novel, Dracula, written in 1897.
Stoker did not create the myth of vampires, but his character Dracula did become the most well-known of the vampire legends. Dracula has become a marker for our view of the classic vampire. Think about his trademark cloak and long pale face.
Stoker drew inspiration for his vampire from the historical figure Vlad the Impaler, a Transylvanian ruler with a bloody history that had transformed over the years into mythical proportions.
The book was a smash success in its time and was transformed into a stage play in 1924 by John L. Balderston and Hamilton Dean.
Balderston and Dean heavily edited the story to create a sleek, action-packed play. They cut several of the major characters in the story and combined them to create Dr. Seward. They also streamlined the action of the play to take place mostly in an English asylum, with flashbacks to Dracula's Transylvanian castle.
The dramatists also switched the names of the two women, Mina and Lucy. In the book, Lucy is transformed into a vampire that preys on young children. Balderston and Dean believed that their English audience wouldn't like the character of Lucy, who has a traditional English name, being an evil character, and switched Lucy's role in the novel to that of Mina.
In our play, Mina is the character that feeds on children, and Lucy is the hero of our play.
Our production is based on Balderston and Dean's script, but the play you'll see at Actors is far from the 1920s production. Our show has been updated with more thrills, chills, and technical skills available to our design team.
Our play begins after Count Dracula, a Transylvanian vampire, has moved to a small seaside village in England. Count Dracula has begun to attack the residents of an asylum there, but no one realizes yet that he is the cause of their problems. Dr. Seward, the director of the asylum, seeks help from an old friend, Dr. Van Helsing, an expert of the occult, to find out what's happening after the death of his fiancée Mina.
Their investigation into her death is complicated by the sudden illness of her friend Lucy, who is staying at the asylum, and by the presence of Renfield, a patient at the asylum who seems to have more information about the mysterious Count than he's letting on.
Dracula takes place in the Bingham Theatre. The theater has 6 trapdoors where actors can make spooky fast entrances and exits, and for quick changes of large scenery pieces. Underneath the stage, there's a trap room where the stage crew can raise and lower platforms using hydraulic lifts.
The action of Dracula doesn't just happen on stage. Actors will use the stairs and aisles as entrances, as well as dropping in from the ceiling. The action literally happens all around you.
The scenes in the play take place in ghostly graveyards, haunted crypts, and dusty Victorian mansions. In order to shift the atmosphere of each scene and keep the action of the play alive, our lighting team uses strobe lights, fog machines, and pyrotechnics during the performance.
In 2 of the vomitorium entrances, there are large, heavy gates that appear to open and close with just a flick of Dracula's wrist. Hidden stage crew members operate these doors from the trap room.
No production of Dracula would be complete without vampires' favorite snack, blood. Our props department creates 9 different types of blood each year and uses up to 75 gallons overall. And don't worry if you get any blood on you. All of our blood is soluble, meaning it washes off easily with soap and water. And some of it is even edible using simple corn syrup and food coloring.
With all of these exciting elements happening on stage, it's important to remember that the staff at Actors Theatre is always looking out for your safety. But we also need your help in keeping our performers safe.
Now we're going to show you what it means to be a safe and respectable audience member during Dracula, so you can have the maximum amount of fun.
Here at Actors, we think of these safety tips as instructions we would give to someone riding an actual roller coaster.
If you're in a seat on the aisle, please remember to keep your arms and legs out of the aisle and in your seats at all times. Remember, the aisle could be used by an actor for an entrance or an exit.
If you're sitting above any of the vomitorium entrances, keep your feet off the railing and away from the heavy gates and playing spaces of the actors.
If you're brave enough to sit in the front row, please remember to keep your arms and feet off the guardrails. Our actors will be performing stage combat sequences, and we don't want you or them to get injured.
There are many moments of stage combat during the show, and even though it's highly choreographed and rehearsed, the actors will be chasing and fighting each other at full speed and need to feel safe doing so in order to make it look as authentic as possible for you. Do not throw any items whatsoever on stage. Even a page of a program could place an actor or an audience member in danger.
If you get any blood splashed on you, don't panic. Remember, you can wash it off with soap and water during an intermission or after the performance. Think of it as a splash zone at a theme park. If you don't want to be splashed with the blood, ask a teacher to sit away from an aisle or the front row.
Finally, if at any point you need to exit the theater during the show, do not exit on stage or walk across the stage. Walk up the aisle closest to you where you entered the theater. Our ushers will be looking out for you if you need a break from the action.
Remember, even though you have all the behind-the-scenes tips and tricks to Dracula, not every audience member does and might respond to the play differently than you.
The point of all these technical elements is to try and create the most supernatural and spine-tingling portrayal possible of a vampire, and to give the audience a good scary time. But in order to do that, we need you to stay safe and respectful of the work on stage and your fellow audience members.
Dracula is a tradition here at Actors Theatre and for the city of Louisville. Before and after the show, we want you to think about why vampires, Dracula specifically, are such an enduring and popular myth for us humans.
Thanks for joining us today.
See you at the theater.